Something's going to be released soon? Well, not according to me. Actually, according to Zebec. I'll show it on the screen. So Zebec made a post saying how their 1 month super app stats will be released soon. Now, will this automatically make Zebec so popular when they do release it? No, I don't think so. But this, if anything, I think could have implications in which could very well affect the way in which people take a look at Zebec. And I'll talk about why I think it could impact Zebec in today's video, even though I am not telling anyone to do anything. It's just my review perspective and nothing I say is financial advice. So as we all know, Zebec not that long ago launched the mobile version of the super app. But with that being said, a lot of people like to say, well, it launched in 2026. Is the adoption even that good? Does anyone even use it? Now, people can say this, they can say that, but the numbers, they're going to speak for themselves. The numbers is what is going to showcase what the actual activity looks like. So I think by them hopefully releasing those statistics soon, it's going to give a better understanding as to whether or not the super app in terms of the mobile version was a flop or not, right? Because some people seem to think it was a failure, but I don't think there's any way to really kind of judge that as of right now, at least. We need to take a look at the numbers. So this right here is not only going to rectify, I think, a lot of speculations when it comes to Zebec, but it can also disprove some of the rumors when it comes to it as well, because some people seem to think it's doing so well. However, maybe the statistics might showcase that it's not doing so well, in which some other people may think it's doing so bad, but if the statistics do come out and it's actually better, again, it's going to paint a better picture as to how effective the super app has been, at least in terms of the mobile version, especially in 2026. Now, people may be wondering, okay, what is even the use of the super app? Like, who cares about that? Well, that's integral to Zebec, right? Because Zebec, it has a lot of aspects when it comes to it as a project. Like, for instance, there's the cards, there's the payrolls and all this. So what the super app does is that it basically consolidates, these aspects, like for instance, again, like I mentioned before, the payrolls and the cards, and it puts it into one platform. That way, it's going to make Zebec a lot more simple. It's going to make it more cohesive, and it's not going to confuse as many people as it did before. Now, we've already seen the desktop version, which launched earlier on this year, but the mobile version was kind of delayed. It was supposed to actually launch in the middle of March based off the roadmap, but we saw it launch not that long ago. So, of course, it's fair to kind of, I guess, take a look at why a lot of people have been saying that the mobile version was a flop and that they didn't really need to do that. But again, there's no way for me to say it's right or it's wrong because I haven't seen the statistics. So this right here could really clarify a lot of things, especially how they're planning to release, right, their super app stats. This could tell a lot. So again, I get it. It's not really about the price anyways, but it's more so about the fundamentals of Zebec. It's like, for instance, right? Let's say someone puts their movie in like a platform. I mean, we don't really know how well it's going to do. We need to see the statistics. You know what I mean? We need to see the watch time, how many people viewed it, what is the click-through rate and all that. We have to see that. If we don't see it, how would we really know? So I guess what Zebec is trying to do is that it's trying to showcase that, hey, you know what? These are what the numbers actually look like. So it's going to make it a lot less confusing. Again, it's not really about the price, but it's just more so, I think, about the community, because Zebec has over 100,000 holders, keep in mind. It's not like it's a completely forgotten about project. There are people in the Zebec community that care about this type of stuff, including me, right? I care about what is going on when it comes to the statistics and how well their product launches have been. So especially when it comes to something that was delayed in terms of the launch, which the mobile version was, I want to see what the statistics are. In which case, again, I'm curious because either it could exceed expectations or not. But that is, again, what they're planning to release soon. So not everything is always going to be about the price, right? I mean, let's just think about this logically. Do you think Zebec wants their project to literally be low as of right now? It almost makes no sense. Like, for instance, let's say we take a look at the whole market being down. I'm pretty sure the majority of projects within this space don't want to see their project do bad in terms of the price charts, because why would they? In some cases, it just doesn't make sense. So Zebec, they have no control over this, right? This is not a stock, in which case some companies out there, if their profit margins look fantastic, if let's say they are planning to launch an amazing product or have launched an amazing product, and let's say they have low debt and all this, usually we see it be affected pretty positively when it comes to the charts in regard to stocks. But that's not how it works when it comes to the space, because when it comes to the space, a project can be doing really amazing. They could be having amazing statistics. They can do amazing launches, but it won't really do much if the overall sentiment isn't doing the best. Case in point, Bitcoin's around 60 grand. Zebec is not going to randomly go in an independent rally of its own. Just not that realistic as of right now, in my opinion. But instead, what Zebec can focus on is improving, developing, and actually launching new products, right? Because even though it may not matter as of right now, these are the things that could matter eventually later on down the line. It's like, for instance, let's say I'm training for a marathon. Let's just say like 10 miles or something like that. I mean, am I going to be running a marathon every single day? No. But in case I do, if I've already trained, then I'm going to be better equipped and prepared, right? That's just the way I take a look at it. It's kind of no different here. All the stuff that's going on as of right now, all the stuff that they're doing, it's all in preparation for eventually what could come moving forward, right? In a sense where if the market were to recover, this type of stuff could matter. And if, let's say, especially for the long term, when it comes to enterprises, taking a look at this in a much more, I guess, attentive way, all this type of stuff is what's going to matter eventually later. So this is kind of like planting the seeds, if that kind of makes sense, right? They're not buying the tree, they're buying the seed in a sense where they're planting it, waiting for it to kind of do something. So again, I don't view this as a necessarily bad thing. Now, people like to tell me though, who's really going to care about what Zebec does, especially in 2026? Keep in mind, right, this is not a project that is purely driven off of hyper-attention. As a matter of fact, the last time I checked, at least from their latest monthly volume report, in terms of their cards, it was still doing tens of millions of dollars in terms of volume. And also in terms of the payroll side of things, the last time I checked, it had over 200 payroll enterprise clients, and also the volume was in tens of millions of dollars. So this is not a project that is reliant on the price charts doing good. That's not the case, in my opinion. It's more so reliant on the products, the services, and all this. So of course, I just don't see what's really bad with it, other than, of course, the charts, in which case that's even debatable because this, if anything, improved, yet it's becoming cheaper. You know, that logic almost doesn't kind of make sense in some cases. But within this space, that's often what happens, right? During a bear market, during times when the market's not doing so good, a project can be doing so fantastic, yet the charts are low, which almost doesn't make sense because if I go inside a store and let's say the product improved, it's not like it's going to become cheaper. It almost doesn't make sense. But sometimes that's just kind of how it works when it comes to this space. But that's just from what I've observed. Now, Zebec, ever since my last video, it hasn't really moved much. The market cap is still at around 180 million. Yeah, I mean, it's still 3 times away from its peak last year, so not really much to talk about there. But if anything were to happen to that, of course I'll make a video on it, but this video is more so centered around what Zebec is planning to release soon. And I'm pretty excited for that, and I think it could very well clarify a lot of speculations that has been going on in regard to the mobile version of the super app. So I think that right there could be a massive thing for Zebec in terms of the community, right? In terms of actually showcasing, hey, this is what happened, these are the figures. Again, that's going to be a good moment for clarification. Do I know exactly when they're going to be launching it? I mean, no, because their post is very ambiguous. It's very vague because they say, oh, it's going to be released soon. Yeah, I mean, what is soon? A week? 2 days? I mean, I don't know. But if they do announce it, and if they do post it, I should say, I'll be sure to make a video on it. But yeah, in the meantime, I'm still just holding and waiting. That's really all I can do. But there's nothing else really beyond that I'm doing. Just taking a look at the updates, holding and waiting. Yeah, that's pretty much about it. So I want to say thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a very amazing day.